Wake up, Dan. Okay. Hey, Jamie Taylor, how are you? Let me see what's working and what's not. Oh, wait, that's wrong. I've been like wonkadoo all day. Hey, Lisa, how are you? I am like goofy all day today. I'm on a little early because we're going to start this at 3 because I have a class at 5 and I want to go from 3 to 4, maybe 4:30 if we run over, and then I need a little space to kind of clear my head before this thing at 5. I thought it was at 7, so I was going to do you guys at 5 and finish at 6:30. Now, hey Corey McClonager, how are you? I'm good. I'm just a little bit, I've been like in a fog all day. I was talking to a friend today and I was just explaining to him that it's like I am feeling spacey like all day today and I can't shake it. I don't know. I had coffee this morning. I laid down and I like tried to nap to kind of, I feel almost like my equilibrium is off. It's weird. I don't know if anybody else is feeling that way. Like I woke up this morning with a headache and like almost the best way, this is gonna sound so weird, but the best way to describe it is I sort of felt like my fluid levels were off or something. Like I felt like, I don't know, weird. And I feel kind of, I ate a really clean lunch, like a really good, um, no sugar kind of lunch to kind of try and even out my levels because I just feel a little bit foggy. Like it's really weird. And I can't shake it all day today. I've watched a little TV, I've gone out with the dogs, I've tried to kind of relax and just breathe, and um, I just don't feel normal. So I cannot guarantee how good these charmings are going to be tonight, but we're going to do our best. And God knows what I'm going to pull in this class. Like, I'm a little nervous, but I should attend it, so. Excuse me. And that's the other thing too, like at 2 in the morning I woke up with really bad heartburn, like gas, that I had to like sit up and burn. I'm getting old! It's horrible! Help! I had to take Tylenol this, like about, I want to say like 10 or 11 o'clock today, because the headache just wouldn't go away. I took a hot bath. That seemed to make me feel a little bit better. I felt kind of really cold and clammy. I wasn't sure if it was like a blood pressury thing. Like it was weird. Like I just have not felt like fully in my body. Like I can't seem. And when I lay down and I shut my eyes, I try and get centered and I bring it right here. And then I'm there, but it's this sort of weird feeling. I don't know how else to explain it. But Lisa, do you want your October, since it's your birthday, do you want your October charming? You've been cold for 2 days? Oh, no good. I'm sorry, Jamie. It's kind of chilled down here too a little bit, but it's not now. The sun just seemed to come out, so we'll see. It's like late in the day, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, Lisa, what do you want it on? Do you have a subject matter, or do you just want general? You tell me. Oh, I should share this to the group just so people can find it. Let me just share it to the Anglo Guys group really quick, just so that people know it's on. 1 second. Ah. And my neck kind of hurts. Maybe I slept on my neck wrong. I don't know. It's just weird. Might be living in a new house. That might be part of it too. There's just sort of weird, not weird energy. The house is fine. It's just getting used to a new house. I was talking to my friend and realizing, I've only been here for 2 weeks or so, so that's all new. Where is, come on, Barbara? Okay. 1 second, Lisa, I'll be right with you. Just give me, I'm not seeing what I'm looking for here. What is going on, damn it? A total space case. Alright, let me see here. My phone's like not doing what I needed to do right now. Of course. because it's Mercury retrograde. Let me plug this bitch in. Yeah, you like that plug? All right, come on, refresh. Oh my God, you guys, this is awful. Awful, I say. And I'm not shaved. Look at me. I'm like such. But I've been looking, oh, look who's here. Look who's here. Horatio Hornblower. Hi. Um, so, all right, this is not going to work. If somebody could share this into the Angle Guys group, I don't know, Lisa, you're on YouTube, so I don't know if you can from there, but just share this into the Angle Guys group, just so that my Patreon subscribers know that I'm on, because I had to, I want them to be able to come in and get their charmings. I can't figure it out. I'm too not in the mood. I'm just like a wreck today. Hey, Anne Faye Soriano, how are you, dear? Oh, from Spain. Okay, if you can, Lisa, just try. If I promised you a reading, Anne, then I will do that in a moment. I'm going to do Lisa's first because it's her birthday. So I'll do a coin reading for you from last night. Hey, Christina, how are you? Okay. Let me get sort of situated and let me burn a little bit of sage, maybe. That might clear my space a little bit. I don't think it's my space. I just feel like spacey. Thank you, Lisa. For those of you that don't see who I'm talking to on Facebook, I'm talking to Lisa over on YouTube. And Lisa's getting a charming for free because she's a Patreon subscriber. So she subscribes at the highest level and she gets one, those people that subscribe at that level get one free charming a month. They can just kind of show up and ask for it whenever they want on the charm nights. And we have the new tarot coins added into the box, so that'll make it interesting. It'll be kind of new learning for me too. Hey Kelly Talbot, how are you? Kelly, if you want to cash in your charming tonight too, you can for October. You haven't done it either. All right, so let's get into this. All right, I'm going to switch cameras. Are you with me, Lisa? Are you? I just want to make sure you're done sharing it out because I don't want to start if you're not able to pay attention. Awesome, Kelly. Good, good, good. You're welcome, Anne. Just give me one moment. I'm going to get started and we'll get this going. The business page is off limits. Is that why it's maybe not refreshing on my thing? Maybe it's some weird thing that's happening on Facebook and it's not my phone. Oh well, whatever. If people can't figure it out, I can't worry about it. I'll just let it go for this time. Because I did put an announcement in the group, so I just wanted to make sure that people knew that I was coming on, and I don't want them to miss their chance to get their charmings, because it's earlier than normal. But I didn't realize that class was going to be at 5. That's okay. I don't need it shared to the business page. I need it shared to the Angle Guys group. But don't worry about it. It's really not that important. So let's get started. I'm going to switch cameras really quick. And, oh, my desk looks a mess. All right. All this stuff everywhere. All right, you guys ready? And let's see. Let me get the chat box up and let me look at what's going on for you. All right, thank you, Lisa. Oh, wow. Stuff's flying out of the card box. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we've got. So I'm not sure about this 10 because it didn't really land on the board, but I'm going to leave it there for a moment, okay? Let's start with letters first. We have an N. We have an L. We have an E. we have an N, and we have an O. It's almost like melon. But the total is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fives are usually represent change. There's Noel, Nolan. I don't know that that means anything, but we'll just leave that there. We'll take the 5 from that and think about the idea of change. So let's look at what we've got going on. A lot of the tarot coins came up. So we're going to definitely get a look in on that. Let me see if this light will help. Does that help you guys see better? All right. So let me see here. All right, so what's pulling my attention first and foremost is this Imagine coin down here, and the fact that it's upside down. I feel like this means that there is some like screwy messages coming in from your subconscious, if that makes any sense. This might have been in the past leading up to now, because this is more in the past on the board. But when I look at this, it feels like it's like the messages are clear, but they're not, right? And the reason why I say that is Imagine is upright, like face up. We can see the word, we can hear the voice, we can hear the subconscious, but we're not quite discerning it correctly, or it's not coming through exactly. It might even be exacerbating us a little bit or bothering us a little bit. There might have been messages that we were getting that were giving us a little bit of, oh my God, Tallulah, that's really loud, dear. Giving us a little bit of stress, worry, maybe. I feel like there's a friction with this coin, with this glass bead right here. Like I feel like, and this would be in the past, right? So maybe our intuition was sort of telling us something and it wasn't really working very well for us, or it wasn't kind of lining up correctly. I feel like the information was correct, right? That's why we see the word here, but it was coming in weird, or the wires were crossing in some way. I don't know why, but this is what really pulls my attention here. And it has something to do with actually communicating it out, because we have the throat chakra charm here, right? So maybe, let's look at these tarot coins. I'm going to lift this up really quick because there's one underneath here. All right, so again, we have, this is all down in the subconscious, right? Underneath this Imagine. I'm going to see what these coins are, but these are things that are like kind of buried. That's why they're flipped over and we can't see what they say. So we have Justice. And we have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is sometimes known as the liar, cheater, stealer card. It is sort of sideways as I flip it over, right? And there's something interesting about how these swords are pointing to the future. Like I almost feel like, did somebody... okay, how do I want to describe this? I don't know if this is an outside person or if this is, because this is in your subconscious. So to me, it's hard to say whether or not this is an outside person. I feel like there was lies being told, whether it was from an outside person or from your own internal mind, Lisa. There was things that you were unable to trust. That's what this cross signal is, right? That's why this Imagine is not like upright like this, right? So whatever dreams you had in the past that were sort of deep down inside, there was some sort of lie that you were fighting with them. Does that make sense? It maybe was your lie, or it might have been, I mean, not like you're a liar, but like a lie that you maybe believed, that you told yourself to be true. Like, say it's a belief of, I'm not good enough, right? Like that kind of a thing. Maybe it's from past experience where we were treated poorly, so we started to believe that's what we deserved. But that's a lie, right? So that's what I mean by maybe it was a lie that you had or that you told to yourself. Or it could be a lie coming from somewhere else, right? But it's sort of embedded into your subconscious, and it kind of maybe messed with your ability to sort of dream or imagine, get your perspective and move forward. The justice aspect of this is also speaks to this being a lie, like the truth needed to come out or needs to come out. I don't know if it has yet. I feel like this throat chakra, when it's upright like this is about speaking the truth. So this is about possibly speaking your own truth, right? We have the devil, right here, next to this throat chakra. And we have, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the Nine of Cups. I feel like, and then we have the King of Pentacles. And what is this? Hold on one second. I gotta flip it over correctly. We have the Three of Wands upside down. Like this is about sort of the order coming in and how do we want it to come in, but it's coming in upside down, so it's not quite working. And the Devil to me feels like an outside influence. Like this is somebody that is not somebody that you've had to fight with or deal with, come up against, and emotionally you're attached to them. This is the Nine of Cups, right? This to me feels like you. This feels like you saying, okay, I'm done. I'm completing this with you. I'm no longer doing this with you, Devil. Like, I don't want to deal with you and your problems. Whoever this person is, you kind of need to sort of separate from them. And that might be the clarity or the communication that had to take place for you to be able to do that, to draw that line in the sand. It was affecting sort of, I get a feeling from these coins that it possibly was affecting how stuff comes in or how your future, your desires, whatever you're imagining will come in, how you're able to like reap it or bring it in. It was sort of like, I feel with this Justice and the Seven of Swords, there's a fight happening between these two, right? It feels like, what's the right thing to do, but where have I been wronged, right? Because the Seven of Swords usually represents like something having gone wrong or being done in the background. Both of these are deep in your subconscious. Like there might have been an argument that you were having with yourself about how to handle a situation with somebody that maybe wasn't being the best they could be to themselves or to you. And you had to kind of like round up your cups and be like, okay, I'm out. I can't do this. And you had to communicate that so that you could move forward into the future, right? You did have some support from the King of Pentacles, but I feel like he's sort of sideways here in the sense that he's giving you a little bit of space, right? Letting you deal with it on your own and sort of maybe seeing that it's not gonna, like, I feel like he's here to support you if this is an outside person, right? He's here to support you, but he's also here to let you sort of, as he supports you, he's allowing you to see that sort of how things are coming in isn't quite working, if that makes sense. And so there is an opportunity with this Three of Wands being on the board that you can make it come in the way that you want, but you have to be brave and stand in this communication, which I feel as though you have, right? And you might be in this process right now is kind of the sense that I'm getting. Staying in this clear communication is going to be key for you moving into the future. Into the future, we don't have a whole lot yet, and it's sort of interesting. We only have these three charms. One is a wonderful journey is ahead. This is kind of down in the subconscious again, and it's upside down. I feel like this clarity that comes from this communication chakra is important in the sense that as we speak it, we make it real, right? And as we sort of bring it about, like we're talking about the number 5 in these letters, right? The change that we seek or the change that we want to have take place, we need to sort of voice it clearly and precisely. And I think that you're in the process of sorting that out. That's why there's all of this stuff going on in the past. You've maybe had to separate yourself from some of these things, fight your way through it, and get to this clear point of communication. This football helmet says, to me, it feels a bit like you're willing to play the game, right? But it's also a bit about protection, keeping yourself safe in whatever games that are going to be played going forward. And then Vishnu is a very like sort of benevolent Indian god. And to me, I feel like this is sort of a blessing moving into the future. I feel like the wonderful journey is ahead is on a clear glass bead, right? And so to me, that speaks to the idea of clarity, but we want to get it really clear. And the more we speak our truth, the clearer our mind gets. And I feel like the more that I feel like the key to all of this is this charm here and this charm here. Whatever is giving us cross signals from the past or was giving us cross signals, we need to not entertain anymore because it will affect our future. There's opportunity here as we get clear, as we speak from this place of clarity and this seeking of change, this starts to go upright. And I feel like this is in the subconscious. It gets more clear. A wonderful journey starts to be created. Change starts to come about. We start to move forward. We're ready for the changes and for the game. We're also protected. That was one of the words, one of the cards this week was protection in the forecast. So, I mean, I don't know if this is this week and maybe going forward, but you are protected. You're willing to play. You know how to play, right? You know how to make things happen. So, get about making them happen. And then Vishnu is sort of like there to kind of empower you and make it possible to bless you in a way. I sort of feel like he's there to bless you and oversee everything and kind of take you away from maybe the jumbledness of what I feel like is here. The one thing I will say, these two were face down, right? So they're deeply kind of embedded in the sense that we may not fully be aware of them at all times. I do like that the justice coin is the one at the very bottom, meaning underneath all of this, whatever will take place will be fair, just, and right. You know, like you will reach. My feeling is you will get to that point if it doesn't feel completely all put together yet. I like that this is down here underneath all of this. And as you get clearer and more clearer and you communicate more and more of that, you will begin to get more and more clarity in your sort of subconscious and be able to create sort of the future that you want. Does that make sense? Also, I will say this fell on the 10, right? And 10 boils down to the number 1, which is about the self. And when I think of the number 1, I think of, you know, the truth that's being spoken here, and maybe the truth or some of the things that you've maybe, I don't want to say battled with, but you've struggled against or tried to sort through, are like really important to you right now. And they're really important to how your future forms as you move forward. There will be blessings coming, right? And so the more that you kind of like speak your truth and live in that, the more it will start to come to you, right? I actually see this as your husband. I think this King of Pentacles is your husband. And I feel like he's just sort of supporting you as you see what you want and begin to make it happen as you, and he's maybe supported you in the past when you weren't necessarily getting what you wanted. And so this 3 can be uprighted moving forward, right? The 3 of, like, there's this joke that a reader does. She talks about how the 2 of Wands is placing the order and the 3 of Wands is when the order comes in, right? And so we can make our desires come to us, right? And so it is possible. The 3 of Wands is always about sort of collaboration too. It can be about collaboration. So I think that as you get clearer on what you want and share that and speak that and try not to let maybe this devil coin to me feels like others that, you know, they may come in on your emotions, right? Because it's resting on this 9 of Cups. There might be people that you love dearly. This could be the loss of your friend. Remember, when she passed, that was a really hard period for you too. That could also be the devil's energy, right? Or something that shakes you up in that way and kind of throws you off your game, where it challenges you to have to sort of upright those cups and upright and close up that chapter and move forward, right? So there could be multiple situations around this, but they're all producing this truth within you that as you voice it and move forward, it will bring you to a point of clarity and towards what you need. Has he? That's cool. Vishnu has showed up in most of your charms. You should look him up. Are there 7 coins on their side? I don't know. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, there's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 coins. Well, I feel like it's in rewrite right now. This is the speaking of the rewrite. You know, and like there might have been some confusion in the past, but we're clearing that out as we speak. It's kind of what it looks like. So if you want a screenshot of this, let me know that you've got it, and then I'm going to move on and do Kelly Talbot. Let me just see here, 1 second. It's gotten warm. The sun is out, child. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, wait, what's going on here? Hold on. Oh, this is where I lost the messages. 1 second, I can't see what you guys are saying. Okay, thank you. Yes, there is clarity ahead, and you're in charge of speaking it into existence, is kind of the feeling that I'm getting from this reading. And keeping the focus on you and the focus on change. So wherever you need change, because that's the 5 in here, I would stay focused on that and creating that change. All of that change feels positive to me, and you're ready to do it, even if it sort of creates a little bit of work on your part or shifting. But I feel like that's like the putting in the hard work or playing the game with this football helmet. All right, I'm going to clear the board. Okay. You're welcome, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you so much for subscribing to the Patreon. Kelly, are you still here with me? And then, who's the girl from Spain? Are you still here? Is it Anne Faith? What's that her name? Hi, Anita Lynn. I see your comments. Just give me a moment, dear. I'm trying to get these charmings done for my Patreon subscribers. They get first come, first serve because they subscribe to the channel on Patreon. So I'm here to do them first, and then if I have time, I will do one for you after I do. I can't see her name because we've scrolled. Anne Faith, that's right. So I'm gonna do Anne Faith. I'll do you after Kelly, okay? Just give me one moment to do Kelly because Patreon subscribers get jumped to the front of the line. It's just kind of the rules. So as long as I'm gonna just do the coins for you, Anne Faith, because that's what we were doing last night, was just coin mini readings. So, and that's what I'll do for Anita too. If you guys want to purchase a charming, they are for sale. They're $25. You're all right, Anita. That's fine. Just if you don't mind being patient. The whole point is my Patreon subscribers get to cut the line. If she's here though, I don't see. You're already on Facebook chat, Lisa. Is Kelly still here or did Kelly leave? Kelly, my dear, are you here? Did I lose ya? Calling Kelly Talbot. Oh, I am so just ding-dong today. Is Kelly still here? I don't see Kelly speaking. Was Kelly on YouTube or Facebook? No, I see that you're here, Anne Faith, and I see that Anita's here. I'm looking for Kelly Talbot. I think she might have been on YouTube. I can't remember which one she chatted in on. But she was here a minute ago and she said she wanted to get her October reading, but I don't know where she is. Calling Kelly Talbot. Come in, Kelly Talbot. If she doesn't show up soon, Anne, you'll go next, okay? I'll do a... Oh, here you are. A reading on love. Okay, perfect. She just chimed in on YouTube. Thank you, Kelly. All right, let's see what's going on in Kelly Talbot's love department. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. Vishnu's back. Wow, Vishnu wants to like make an appearance tonight. All right, so we've got R and M. It's a number 4, right? We've got the 1 and the 3. Or we've got Mr. Hey, Mister, what's going on? So there could be a Mister coming in for a sister, I'm just saying. Fours are about stability to me. Like I always think of 4 legs on a table. I always say that. You do have the king crown, which is interesting. Let me look here. What's this? Oh, it's the rooster. Usually a symbol for cock. Excuse my language. The rooster usually means good luck too. I kind of get a feeling that this might have been a excuse my. I'm going to go there, Kelly. I hope you don't mind, dear. I know that this is public, but I sort of feel like this crown and this rooster kind of represent maybe a past lover where the passion was quite intense. And maybe you kind of still think about him from time to time. I feel like it's somebody that's in the past, though, if that makes any sense at all. Again, we have the number 4 in the black die, right? So I like this stability thing. I'm going to say this. I feel like, okay, I feel like I want to talk about, and maybe I'm wrong with this, Kelly, but you tell me. I kind of feel like possibly we gave our power over to this mister, possibly in some way, and I'm going to explain to you why. In the past, right? There's been maybe times where we have sort of uh, been swayed or something. I don't know. Like, let me just explain. This is the citrine chip, right? The citrine quartz that's in here. This is the solar plexus, which is our power and energy distribution center, right? Our third chakra. It's right above our second chakra, which is our sexuality and our emotions, right? And so when this is down here in the subconscious and Mary's upside down, it feels like your feminine power was being given over, maybe, or like this to me represents as you. This to me represents as him. I also feel like this could be him a little bit too in the present moment. Like maybe you guys are not in communication or not in connection, yet you're still thinking of him. There's definitely a connection with this Mister. I know this sounds crazy, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if you could confirm any of this, Kelly. Like, it just give me a yes if any of this is sounding correct, so that I know that I'm on the right energy, because I sort of feel this, but it feels like if I'm off, then I need to know. Because this is feeling like, because you also have the giant seashell, which is the big listen. To me, this is about listening to your own intuition, listening to your own guides, listening to your own sort of, how do I want to say it? Like, what your gut is maybe telling you, and maybe you weren't, and that's why Mary is sort of upside down. Her world is turned a little bit upside down. This would be in the past, remember that, right? So to me, I feel like maybe in the past with this Mister, it hasn't been always uh, the most stable. Does that make sense to you, Kelly? Kelly says, I don't care. Hey, Tammy Sylvester, how are you, dear? I'm unsure what I don't care means, Kelly. Kelly, are you with me? I'm waiting for Kelly to respond because I just got an I don't care and I'm not sure what that means. I love all this dead silence. It's so attractive in a reading. Oh, Lisa, I don't know if you're on Facebook, but Tana Sylvester's telling you happy birthday, dear, on YouTube, if you can't see her. I don't know if you're still over on Facebook chat or if you're back on YouTube. Kelly, are you here? That I don't care has got me a little bit wondering. I'm not sure what that means, if that's an affirmative or if you're telling me you're over him. Yeah, I will, Tammy, definitely. Thank you for showing up, dear. Did Kelly leave? I'm so confused. It sounds right. Okay, thank you, Kelly. All right, cool. Now, this could be a new gentleman moving into the future, but I feel like he's not fully present yet. So if you're over Mr. from the past, I feel like Mr. of the future, we want this seeking of stability. And I think that maybe with this situation, you didn't have that. So stepping forward into the now, it's kind of like the black die to me sort of feels like an ending, right? We ended it maybe due to lack of stability or lack of like supplying whatever it was that the relationship needed, whoever's part that was, whether it was yours or his. I think it might have been more his. Um, you kind of had to close the door or end it. Now, we've got, this is sort of the present moment. I feel like Vishnu's here and Mary is kind of how you represent, right? In the past, maybe you were thrown off your game a little bit or hurt at a deeper level subconsciously by this previous Mr. up here. There could be a potential for a new guy. I get a feeling, it's interesting to me, we have the globe all the way up here in the higher mind in the future. I don't know if you're talking to anybody that's far away. It's interesting to me that Vishnu is an Indian god. I'm not saying that your new guy is going to be from India, but that either there's some relevance of travel, this idea of traveling to someone. I don't know if there's somebody that's maybe far away that you're interested in. That could be why this Vishnu is turned over. Does that make sense? Like, it feels like he's not fully able to be in the picture. It doesn't feel like a bad thing per se. It just feels like he's not present at this time for some reason. Not that he doesn't want to be, it's just like maybe he can't be. So maybe there needs to be some travel that needs to take place in the future, but like right now with the world the way that it is, we can't necessarily travel. So it's interesting to me if that there's something like that going on in your life, because these two could play a part, and this would be the idea of high aspirations to maybe traveling to this person at some point in time in the future. Now let's see what this tarot coin is. This is the Two of Pentacles. It is upside down. This is about balance. As a rule, the card is a picture of a man balancing two pentacles. The twos for me are always about couplings and the deepening of that relationship. Those couplings can sometimes represent between us and another person or us and ourselves, right? Like the deepening of the relationship we have with ourselves. To me, when I look at this, it feels like with all of this four here and the four here, I feel like, is there somebody that you are distant with that you're interested in? I feel like this is part of the problem, is this distance. And we need to ground this distance. We need to flip this two over and bring this into balance. And then that kind of brings him into play. Does that make sense? That's what I feel like. Am I crazy? But that's kind of how I see this, is it sort of feels like we need to get grounded in what both Mary and Vishnu want, right? Or what these two, how these two are going to come together, where they're going to meet, and how it's going to come together, and ground that and really get practical about making that happen, taking the next step, bringing that into balance, bringing that into this state of stability and reality, so to speak, and then moving that forward. And I think that this will move forward in the future. We need to keep it in the higher mind, in that sort of high vibrational thought of the possibility, the excitement, the thrill of it all, when it happens, how good it's going to feel. If we stay focused on that, I think you're able to maybe bring this in and make it happen. But it is going to, I feel like it is going to take some time, like it's in the future. Oh, you didn't care that it was public. Okay. You must have mad lag, Kelly. Because it feels like I ask a question and then I don't hear from you for a long um, time. You lost the sound? Can you hear now? Okay, Christina can hear now. Okay. Hey there, mister. Hey there, mister. Exactly. So I think this is also similar to Lisa's reading in the way that like staying true to oneself and to what you have to offer and what you bring to a relationship is going to be key. Mary's like sort of the divine feminine, you have all of these wonderful qualities and all of these great gifts to bring to somebody that is deserving of your time, Kelly. And so, and I think you know that because this is sort of like your past, right? So you're like, I don't want to do that again. I want something more stable. I want something more grounded, centered, all of that. But it's like, how do we work this out with this person here? That's the reason why this is upside down right now and face down is like, where do we begin? You know, there might seem to be hurdles, which would be like, I think possibly distance, uh, life issues, whatever's going on, COVID, whatever's standing in the way of this. It may seem insurmountable, but this Two of Pentacles feels like there's possibility here, right? It just needs to be brought into being, and then we need to just sort of balance it and work at it, ground it, be practical, move steadily towards it, and bring those two pentacles together. This being one pentacle and this being another. No, not yet. So there might be somebody, like if you tell me in a month or two that you meet somebody from far away that you're interested in, like maybe online or something, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised because that's sort of the vibe that I'm getting from these um, uh, three charms here. Because this Two of Pentacles is about working towards bringing that into being. This could be about you manifesting that on a material level. Maybe he's flipped over like this because he hasn't fully come into being yet because you haven't decided what it is you want in your next. But whatever it is, it needs to be deserving of everything that is good about you, right? And we need to remember we want to upright, like the experience or the memories of the previous mister, we want to like not allow that to taint whatever we create moving forward, because we need to remember that this Virgin Mary is who you are. She maybe got a little bit sidetracked or thrown off of her game through whatever went on in the past, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not everything that this Mary has to offer. Does that make sense? So acknowledging that and honoring that as you move forward will help you to also sort of further understand what it is that you need here to sort of meet you on your level. Yeah, my box is opposite. I know, it's backwards. It's always been backwards. I like having a backward box. I can't figure out how to flip the screen on it. It's really weird. So it's weird with letters and stuff like that. So let me know if you need to take a picture of this, Kelly. I'm going to clear the board in a moment. Tammy. For those of you on Facebook, Tammy says my box is rusty and dusty. LOL. You got twins, Rusty and Dusty, Tammy? That's crazy. Tammy, I'm going to do a quick reading for one girl that asked at the very beginning, and then I'll do you next if that's okay. You don't mind waiting. You just got here. I hope that's okay. It'll be really quick. It's just going to be a coin reading. She's been waiting, and she's been watching. I promised it to her yesterday. So let me just knock her reading out really quick, and then I will do your charming. All right, so Anne Faith, are you still here? We're just going to throw a few coins for you from the coins of the tarot, but if you'll let me know what subject, or if you just want a general. So did you just want general, dear? Oh, wait, So career and health. Okay. So we have the Five of Pentacles, we have the Moon, and we have the Wheel of Fortune, but the Wheel of Fortune is sort of sideways. So I am going to say this. I feel like this is very important to you. I know that career and health, they're two really big things, so I tend to only take one subject at a time. But I feel like I'm not sure if these two things might be intertwined for you. The Wheel of Fortune feels like there's a lot of patience that's involved in this right now, and it's maybe a bit frustrating. That's why the wheel is sort of sideways. The Wheel of Fortune, what you do need to know is it is major arcana, so it means that it packs an extra punch. It's got a little bit more sway to it. And it's generally, as a rule, it's kind of like the cycles that we go through, and what we focus on is sort of what we get. And when I'm looking at this, I feel like I want to say that I'm sort of frustrated with the amount of time that things are taking. Now, I don't know if this is with your health or with your career, but this could be both, right? If the two aren't totally intermixed, I feel like maybe this frustration might mirror in both sectors of your life, right? That things might be moving slowly or slower than you would like, and that's not really, it's kind of, how do I want to say, like it's we can't see past it, right? It's the Wheel of Fortune, right? So it's so big in our face and so powerful that it's kind of maybe bothering us more than it should or needs to, right? And if we keep allowing that bother to kind of drive us or be our focus, then we need to be careful, because it's kind of like whatever we put into the Wheel of Fortune, it will spin in that direction. So if we're thinking, that's kind of the concept behind the idea of the Wheel of Fortune, is like, if you're putting in positivity, then the Wheel of Fortune will bless you with more positive outcomes. If we're putting in negativity, then we're going to probably get more of the same of what we're focusing on. With this, I feel like you're at that fine line of, be careful, right? Only because it's tilted sideways. The sideways tilt also makes me think that this wheel, the Wheel of Fortune, is always known to move slowly. There's anticipation both with positive things and negative. And as a rule, we tend to really anticipate the positive, and it takes longer, or it feels like it takes longer. If that anticipation or the wait is frustrating to you right now, I would be conscious of it, is kind of the feeling that I'm getting from this. Now you have the Moon here. The Moon is the element of, associated with the sign of Pisces. It's a very watery, emotional, psychic energy. It tends to be the shadow side or the darker side. It can be of the mind. It can sometimes represent the subconscious, confusion, deeper secrets that we can't quite find the answers to. It's not as, it's a powerful card or coin, I should say, but it's sometimes elusive in the way that the Moon is, right? We can see by the light of the Moon, but it's darker at night, and so it's sort of like the information is there, it's just maybe a little bit harder to track, harder to find, not quite as clear, and that also might be adding to the slowness that we feel in this Wheel of Fortune. And also the Moon affects like sort of the tides and cycles and everything we do sort of emotionally, right? And so we might find ourselves in a very emotional period around some of these things, being tossed and turned. I'm sort of seeing like the water and feeling a little bit unknown, if that makes sense. Up here is the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles can sometimes mean like loss, hardship, sort of struggling financially, trying to make ends meet. But what I feel like this is also fives represent that idea of change, right? And just being desirous of that change. And so if you are truly desirous of changing your financial situation through your career, and also if your health is affecting your financial situation, that could also be creating some of the confusion and fear or stuff that's going on with the Moon. There might be a little bit of, things are spooking you a little bit more than normal and stuff, just because so much might be up for you right now. I think that there's also that idea of the five means that we just need to start to begin to seek that change, and we need to seek that change in a way that is positive, and is grounded and just begin to take the next right steps, keeping that open mind. Because this Wheel of Fortune wants to work in our favor. It wants to give us what we need. But the moon also kind of wants us to connect at a deeper level, right? And if we're caught up in just the fear of the loss and the worry about money and finance and all of that, we're just going to spin our wheels. We're going to miss what the moon is trying to show us, and we're going to set ourselves up for maybe further discomfort. And it becomes like a vicious cycle. You can find your way out of it. The moon is here to guide you. It's that deeper subconscious self, your true feelings, your true fears, facing some of them, sitting with them, acknowledging them, and knowing that in doing that, you can kind of separate yourself from them. That sort of shifts this into an upright position where you can start to put more positive aspects into it, and it can bring you about the change that you seek. And then you start to shift. Things become less elusive. A job may show up that is more stable or creates more money for you. Your health might you'll come to a better understanding of what's going on with your health also. This moon, though, is sort of, I feel like it's kind of the key, is sitting with it, facing it, and allowing it to kind of show you what you need. You're spot on, Dan. I need surgery and it affects my career because I have to move. Ah, okay. Through some movement, blessings your way. I think that the thing is I would trust yourself. I think that it's scary, right? The moon can sometimes be a scary card because it's unknown. But I think that the Wheel of Fortune always represents positive possibility. But we have to stay positive amidst maybe adversity or the unknown. And that's the part that I think you might be struggling with right now. On top of that, we also have the reality or the material aspect of the Five of Pentacles, which is like this sort of what if, or maybe things are strapped and tight right now financially. And so that also sort of aids and abets the stress of the moon. But the moon will, if you pay attention, kind of, if you sit with it, if you trust it, I believe that the moon will guide you in a very intuitive, sometimes emotional, but intuitive and I don't know. It's like it will guide you in the right way. You have to trust it, but you have to face it too. Does that make sense? And be conscious of what you're putting into that Wheel of Fortune. Like what sort of beliefs, what sort of doubt are you sitting in? What worry are you sitting in? Because all of that is also going to take effects on your health too. And you don't want to add to an already existing situation. It's 3:33, guys. I just looked at the clock. All right. So that is your 3-coin reading. Thank you for waiting, Anne. And I really wish you the best. You will be fine. I kind of feel like these are two really strong and powerful coins. And the Five of Pentacles, even though it is a little bit of a struggle bus coin, it's also about change and making your situation better, right? And so there is an opportunity to do that definitely in these coins. I see that. Don't let it make you crazy. Try, and that's the slow moving of this. That's this slow moving Wheel of Fortune that's on its side, right? That's the frustration because you want to go, and do this career and do the move and all that, but you got to wait for the surgery. But do what you're more sort of intuitive. Pay attention to how you're feeling, what you're channeling. If you're running a lot of frustration, you don't want to right now. Uh, it's Gus. He's on the floor, Tammy. He's totally snoring on the floor. Tallulah was snoring earlier. He's laying on the floor next to the desk, snoring away. I think I woke him up because oh no, I didn't wake him up. I thought I heard his name. All right, so that is your reading. I'm going to clear these. I don't want to throw them in the box because I don't have an incomplete set. You're welcome, Anne Faye. Thank you for waiting. All right, so let's get into Tammy. Tammy, what did you say? Just general, or did you want something else? I can't remember. And then after Tammy, I'll do Anita. If none of the other Patreon subscribers show up, I will do Anita's. If you're still here, I think you are, Anita. General. Okay. Let's see what's going on with this All right. So we've got a W at number 4. What? All right. What? This is interesting, Tammy. Um, this now feels like you, right? This feels kind of like your energy, sort of like, I'm done, I'm over it. Um, I'm going to just move it over to the side. We have the rooster, which is sort of good luck, right? But he's face down, like he's not face up. And we have the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is always like a heartbreak, right? This is in the past, though, right? So to me, I feel like there was some unlucky moments and some maybe some heartbreak. But this nah sitting on top of it, this nah, it's like, nah, I'm not going to give it any more of my attention, right? I kind of like it in some ways because it almost feels comical. It almost feels like you're just sort of pushing it off any sort of past upset or wherever maybe you might have had some bad luck or a situation where it didn't necessarily work out and you might have been emotionally upset by it. You're kind of working your way to getting over it, right? You also have the Nine of Cups down here. The Nine of Cups is tilted on its side. To me, it feels, nines are always about personal completion. Cups usually is about the emotions, right? To me, this is about sort of taking care of yourself, getting yourself back upright, right? And this is also, again, in the past, right? So we've worked towards getting ourselves back upright. This could be sort of maybe the loss of your husband, that sort of situation, right? Where we've slowly been working on getting ourselves to a place of feeling good and whole again. And so you've worked hard at that, even in the face of other stuff, right? This is this heartache, this bad luck situation. But this now to me feels like, you're not going to let it stop you. You're not going to let it get you down. You're not going to, you've kind of keep working through it, keep plugging along, so to speak. And so this is believe in your dreams. I feel like this shows up for you a lot. Am I wrong about that? And I feel like the reason why it's face down is you maybe gave up in the past a little bit on some of your dreams because you were dealing with struggle, right? And so maybe some heartache or some sadness or whatever. But the work was here in the Nine of Cups. It was about this kind of completing oneself even in the face of whatever you had to deal with emotionally and understanding like both the good and the bad, right? And taking it all and allowing it all to kind of make you into a more complete version of you. Does that make sense? So this is not, who is this? He's a big flirt. I can't think of his name right now. Oh my gosh. He's an Indian god and he is not Vishnu, not, what is his name? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Anyways, this is him when he's playing his flute. I can't think of his name right now. I'm so sorry. But he is an Indian god that was a bit of a player. Like a bit of a sort of like a very romantic male god that would, this is him in his kind of romance state when he plays the flute to charm the ladies. And so when I look at him sitting right here in the center, I want to ask if there's maybe somebody that might be in the picture that might be flirting with you or having, like, I don't know, somebody new maybe, Tammy? Hey, Jen Nichols. Is there somebody new, like a possible new gentleman suitor? Or somebody you might like have eyes on? That's happening? Wait, wait, what? Give me, say yes or no. Is there somebody that you have eyes on that might be flirting with you? Kinda. Okay, cool. I'll take it, girl. I'll take it. He's here. Bitch, he is here. Who is this? It's Krishna. It's not Vishnu. This is Krishna. And when he's playing this particular one, I have two representations of Krishna in here. One is him in this form, and one is him in like a different form, right? But this is him in his flirtatious, like charming the ladies sort of form. He comes in purity and white, and he wants to sort of get your attention, right? And so I like that he's sitting right here in the present moment. That means like he's just kind of entered in. He's here and he's ready to play or have a good time. So that looks hopeful. I also feel like from the struggle in the past and sort of not letting that get you down, it's sort of this nah energy, which feels kind of like, I get this sort of like comical feeling from it, like, nah, I'm not gonna let that uh, suck me in or drag me down, right? That sort of has brought this playful energy from him, is sort of the feeling that I get, right? So let's see what this is. This is more in the future. This is imagine, and it's face down. So I think that what this is there's an opportunity here to potentially imagine some sort of a future, maybe with whoever this suitor might be for you, right? We don't know just yet because it's very new. That's the feeling that I get. That's why this is flipped over like this, is it's sort of not fully there yet, right? Where he's just come in, kind of thing. We're like right in the present moment of the board. So he's just come in. He looks good on paper. He seems charming. He makes us smile. Maybe we don't fully know his motives yet or what he's willing to, commit to or any of that. So we can't quite fully get to the imagined part yet, right? This is yet to be seen because we have to see what he does. Right? And right now, to me, the vibes feel really good with him. I get a good feeling from this charm. But are these vibes how do I want to say this? I will say this. We want to make sure that he's not going to do anything that might have happened in the past that created some of this, if that makes sense, right? This might have been your previous, right? Where there was a little bit of heartache and a bad luck situation or things went wrong and it didn't work. And we're not going to let it upset us or get us down, right? So we want to make sure that this is not a repeat of that, is kind of maybe the vibe that I'm getting from all of these charms together. And until we're really clear on that and we're stable, right? We have this number 4 here. Until we're like, and didn't you say something about being a winner? You got a W for the win, right? When we're sure about what he's about and what he's willing to deliver, then we'll begin to sort of flip over this imagine charm and move into the future and start to imagine the possibilities of what he can bring. So I feel like there's a lot of possibility here, but we're just being really not cautious, but just being smart about it, right? And just being really practical and having a good time. The nah to me doesn't feel too serious. It's just kind of like, nah, I did that already. I'm not going to do that again. So we want to make sure that he's not, about that life. His name is Bill. Okay, fairs. He can't have my milkshake, but he can come to the yard. Exactly, Tammy. And let him play his flute for a little bit and let him charm you. And you deserve it and enjoy it and have fun with it. And at that point, when he sort of proves himself and he tastes the milkshake, then you can begin to imagine a more vibrant future with him. But right now, it's very much in this sort of playful state of the now, with the memories of sort of the past and the work that you've done, and the importance of like not necessarily giving that up, right? That's kind of my feeling. I love this reading. That's awesome. Jen Nichols, do you want your charming for the month of October? You haven't gotten your charming either. If you want to do yours, we can do yours too. Thank you, Tammy, and thank you for being a Patreon subscriber, you guys. Like, you guys are amazing to me. The fact that that money comes in every month is like so needed right now. So thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys. And when I disappeared because I moved and everything, I feel really, I do think about you guys, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get online. And then the cat died, and it was just like, oh, thank you, Tammy. Awesome, Jennifer. I'm gonna do, if you don't mind, I want to do Anita really quick. I'm just gonna do a little coin pull for her, and then I'll do you, Jen. All right, so Tammy's done, and then Jen Nichols will get hers. Great, 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 great. That means that I gotta find, okay. So I'm gonna clear this board, and if Anita's still here, I can do a coin throw for Anita, and if Anita's not here, then I will do you, Jen. But Anita, if you're here, please speak up. Good luck with that, Tammy. Let us know how Go works out. I think it'll be fun. I think you'll enjoy yourself. But it's definitely like Romance Krishna, for sure. Oh wow, the air conditioner just kicked on. That means it's getting hot. Anita, okay. So you just want me to look at you and your partner, correct? Your significant other? Is that what you said? Oh, it is hot, actually. Hey, Mary. Your new boo. Okay, let's see what's going on with Anita and her boo. It's hot here all of a sudden. Like, it was gray and overcast all day and kind of miserable, and now the sun has decided to come out at like 2:30, and now it's hot as heck. Maybe it was all that like funniness with Bill. Alright, let's see what's going on with Anita. Oh, Anita, what's going on? Why is all this information being hidden away from us? Hold on, let me see here. Come on. What does Anita need to know? Oh shit, alright. So, the fact that all of this is sort of flipped over, like we can't see any of these coins, to me feels like somebody's being kept in the dark. Okay, so I kind of want to say maybe right off the bat, somebody's not being as fully upfront. It could be you, it could be them, but I'm going to see what these coins represent first and figure out what's going on here. So we have the Hierophant. Down in the subconscious, or what I would consider to be a deep subconscious thought, the Hierophant actually usually represents sort of marriage and institutions, higher learning, things like that, right? It is the sign of Virgo, right, which is also about practicality, staying grounded, it's the earth energy, that sort of thing. With this down here, I feel like there's maybe some hope about this boo. Like, there's some deep dreams, right? But we're not clear. That's why this is flipped over like this, right? We're not 100% sure. This boo may be very, very new for you, Anita. But the hope there is that, is this the one, right? That's kind of the Hierophant. But I will say this, with that idea of the Hierophant, there's also the institutionalized aspect of it, which is like, if they're the one, they're going to have to meet the sort of requirements. Does that make sense? There's certain things that you need to figure out about them, or they might be presenting as if they are meeting those requirements. And so somewhere in the backs of your mind right now, you might be thinking, oh shit, this might be the one. And so you may not feel comfortable thinking that way just yet. That's why it's flipped over. So we're going to keep that there. Now let's see what these are. So this is the Knight of Pentacles. Probably the slowest energy in the deck. I feel like this might be your new boo. I feel like he might be a slow burner. Pentacles is that beautiful grounded energy, right? And again, it's very earthy, similar to the Hierophant, right? But it's, to me, it is sort of like this plodding, step by step, minute by minute. It could be like pulling teeth to get information from him, or to get a vibe of where he's at. He can be charming. He can be sort of romantic at times. The Knight certainly can be in servitude and be romantic. But there's The Knight of Pentacles is very practical, very not going to move until he's really sure, and he's not going to give up too much. They're guarded, right? Knights, like, they go to war. They're not like the most open, or they kind of have to do that to keep that sort of protection about them, right? So he might be a little bit guarded, and that's why he's flipped over. Let's see what this is here. Let's see. And this is the Queen of Cups. I think this is you, my dear. I like that we have a Knight and a Queen, and I like that we have a Cup and a Pentacle, because they're complementary. So Cups is water, Pentacles is earth, right? So this could be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This could be Taurus, Virgo, oh my god, I'm drawing a blank, Capricorn. Sorry, I'm a little spacey. And then this is Virgo energy down here, right? Which is also representational of marriage. Is this boo the one? I think there's a distinct possibility, because this feels like a very nice match. I also like that you're slightly higher than him. In some senses, I feel like he might cater to you or take care of you. He might be doing the right things. He might be a little bit guarded, though. That's my only thing. That, like, he may not want to move as fast or be as emotionally open as you are, right? This Queen of Cups, she's cups upon cups. The queens also represent as the cups, right? So this is emotionally, like, wanting to connect, ready to connect. I think that all of these being flipped over speaks to this idea that you might be a little spooked by this connection. That's why these three are all flipped over. Like, you might be, like, excited, yet also a little bit like, oh shit, is this guy the right guy? Like, you might be feeling that vibe, right? The only thing is I think that where you might be a little bit more demonstrative, he might be a little bit more withdrawn and playing a certain role of protector, provider. That might be more his focus. But I think that I feel like these two coins match up very nicely. I love knights and queens together. I mean, kings and queens are great together, but there's something about a knight that does service for a queen that to me is just very romantic and lovely, right? And so I love that. Marita, I'm going to do Jen, and then I can do you. But I'm going to have to be done by 4:30 because I have a class at 5, guys. So I have to be done. I have to go quickly. So I think that this looks really good as far as this Knight of Pentacles and this Queen of Cups and the Hierophant down here. I think this new boo could be very interesting. Allow him to step forward and show you what he's about, and try not to push him too much, okay? I'm a 2 and a Gemini, and he's a 5 and Aquarius. You're the bomb.com. I'm so fucking emotions. You should check your risings and your moons too, because that might be very interesting too. And both of you being air signs is not a bad thing. Like, you guys are both probably thinkers and stuff like that, but you might be the more emotive one, where he's the more practical one. But I think that it could be a very nice match if you can allow him to do it in his own time. You're welcome, Anita. All right, so let me get into Jen Nichols, and then Marita will be next. All right, Jen, do you have a topic? No, it's okay, Marita. I think I can get it done. I have a half an hour, so I have to just not get too long-winded. That's the key. It's on me to pull this off, not you guys. I'm happy that you're showing up and getting them, because we're running out of time. October, I was missing for a part of October because I moved. And then the cat passed away, and it was just like, oh my god. So if Jen's here, but I'm happy to get you guys your charmings. Like, this actually makes me very happy that you're all showing up. Because I was afraid moving it earlier because the class was going to be another... Okay, general. No, I'm going to do... No, Jen, you were always willing to be sick. No. Where's Jen Nichols in the minute? So Jen's got the H, the I, a little high from spirit. I feel like this is beautiful. And I know that it's not a lot of charms. So I'm going to say this. I feel like I love that Mary's dead in the center. I feel like this is you, Jen. And she's sitting right next to the peace charm. Okay. There's something about her being dead in the center and this peace symbol being, this peace charm being right next to her, that it speaks to this idea that things maybe, if they don't feel settled fully, they're about to settle for you, if that makes sense. I feel like there's a centering and a settling, a peace that's settling in that is going to be very nice for you. I hope that's the case. The reason why I say this is these, and I don't necessarily love these dice because they're so big and they take up space in my palm when I pick them up, but you have these down in the subconscious. One is yeah and one is no doubt. And to me, these feel like your subconscious is kind of lining up with whatever's going on here in the sort of present time space mind that speaks to this idea of things just kind of coming together. I also like that this high is very simple. It's a number 5, which usually represents the idea of things changing. So if things aren't fully peaceful yet, expect them to sort of shift towards that and start to begin to come in that way. And it lines up with sort of whatever I hope is working in your subconscious. I hope that there's something that's maybe shifted or changed where you've come to terms with this. Yeah, no doubt just feels like we've kind of clicked, things have clicked into place somewhere in your mind where you're just like, oh, okay, I've got this on lock and in a very peaceful way. This hello is just kind of like that. It feels like a hi from spirit saying, you've got this, girl. Maybe this is your own spirit speaking back to you. But to me, I feel like it is just a hello or an honoring of where you're at, what you've done, the work you've put in, the struggle, the mama you've been, Mother Mary, the quintessential divine feminine, all of this work that you've done. It's finally going to start to make sense or pay off, right? And it's going to pay off, I think, in peace. Down here in the subconscious moving into the future is the 3, and it's on the black die. Sometimes the black dies mean negativity or finality to me, like this kind of, like this is done kind of thing. With this, I feel like this might be the lining up. See how the 3 is straight up and down? To me, this kind of takes me to this place of the mind, body, and spirit lining up. And it being in a very sort of deeply subconscious way, in the sense that this is on that black die. So this takes me to this place of the deeper subconscious. And this is in the future. I think that what happens here is it works like this. We've got the high, right, where we're kind of honoring ourselves and we're accepting the change that's taking place. We're in line with it in the subconscious and we're going like, yeah, no doubt, I can handle this. I will deal with it. We're centering ourselves and honoring ourselves for the power that we are. And that brings about this peace, right, and that acknowledgement. And these kind of play off of each other. And as we move to the future, this starts to line up for ourselves at a very profound way going forward. Right? This is really stark in the sense that I feel like, and I mean stark in a good way, like sparse in a good way, in the sense that I feel like there's not a lot of room for convoluted stuff, for other people's stuff. It's like you are the focus, your peace, and your well-being is the kind of the gift that's being given in all of this, or that's about to be received. If you don't have it already, it's on its way. I feel like you know about this though. Like I feel like this is already in place. Like I almost feel like as I'm saying this, you know what's being this is. Like something clicked for you. And I feel like you're like, yeah, I totally I can feel like you feeling that right now. Like something for you clicked into place. And boom, here she is. And now it's about just owning it and bringing it forward in its simplicity, in its clarity. That's like the sort of the zenness of this charm board right now. That's how I feel. And I feel like this high, you always kind of get really good words, like you got your name that one time. I feel like this is just you saying and honoring yourself, or your guides honoring you, however you want to see this. This is about whatever changes you've made, whatever you've put into effect that brought about this positivity is setting you up for this and more of this at an even deeper level going forward. So it will become almost more profound is my feeling. So I hope that makes sense. And we did that all in 5 minutes! That's amazing! Awesome. All right, so I am going to clear this. Do you need to take a picture of it, Jen? And thank you guys so much for supporting me over on Patreon. You don't know how much that matters to me. Is it okay if I clear this off, Jen? Are you there? Okay, cool. All right, are you ready, Marita? Do you have a subject, or did you just want general? Or I've also added, I've added coins of the tarot into. You'll see if some of them come out in your reading. I'll explain them to you. There's just different coins that have the different tarot cards on them, so they're really fun, and they add another layer to the charming. But did you want a specific subject, or just like a November charming, or what to expect in November, or you can do whatever you want. You just let me know. Business, life journey, farming, cacao biz, etc. Oh yeah, nothing small. A whole laundry list. All right, let's see what comes out. Let's see. What does Marina need to know? How does that sound? What does Marina need to know? Great. What does Marina need to know? What would that serve Marina? All right. Okay. Okay. I'm Saint Anthony of Padua is like standing upright in your reading. I'm just saying. All right, so let's see what we've got going on here. So we've got D, R, C. And this is a total of 5, a number 6. We've got 2, 3, and 3. So that would be 6. Let me see what's going on here. Okay. All right, so I like you have the sun here, right? And you have St. Anthony, like I said, the remover of obstacles, and he's standing upright in your charming. So he really wants to be noticed. I feel like he's looking to the past though, like he's looking towards the past, but this is kind of in the present moment and I almost feel like this is you. Like in the sense that you are the remover of your own obstacles at this point in time, if that makes any sense. You do have Green Tara here in the past. She's flipped upside down, but I don't get a bad vibe from Green Tara being flipped upside down. I feel like it's okay. I almost feel like, to be honest, Marita, I feel like this could be you in both aspects, if that makes sense. I think you're with me. It's sort of like who we were and who we are now, in a way, if that makes sense. I don't want to tread on anything that I shouldn't, but it's sort of both are spiritual, both are powerful, both are still connected and part of the whole, right, of who you are in totality. And so I just think that there's an interesting thing happening between these two charms, if that makes sense. It's almost like St. Anthony of Padua, the remover of obstacles. It's almost as if Green Tara is acting as his shadow, is how it looks like to me, right? So as he steps forward, this is the aspect of Green Tara, like let's say this is the divine masculine, this would be the divine feminine, and so they're still interconnected. Does that make sense? I don't know if you're with me on that, but that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting is that these two powers are working together, and I feel like he's looking to the uh, um, the past, right? And maybe making sense of certain things that have happened in the past so that we can then move forward into the future, right? I feel like that's sort of the vibe that I'm getting is he's reviewing certain things. And I also feel like it's interesting as she plays the shadow, I feel like she's also whispering in his ear, like they're working together. This sun is about the light of truth, energy, anything that the sun represents, it gives life to, right? So this is about sort of wherever it was that we were true to ourselves, wherever it was that, just I feel like there's a purity here. And that is also kind of what's guiding us into the future. Now, we have these coins here. And these are the coins of the tarot, so we're going to get into this. This 5 is change, right? This die of 5 represents change. I'm going to remove that just for a moment so we can look at these coins. Now, the way that I've been working with these coins is when they're flipped over flat like this, I feel like the energy is present but maybe not known, or we might not see it completely. And then there is definitions for upright and inverted that's included in the book. This says cannot be certain down here. And I feel like this is sort of subconscious in the past, sort of uncertainty about who knows what. It could be any of those things you asked about, right? Like, how is the cacao business going to work out? How is the move going to work out? But this is stuff that might have been milling about in your mind, in your subconscious, where you weren't quite sure of the answer and you just sort of rolled with it. It's almost like I feel like you stayed more focused on the sun, or you might have bounced in between the two, the uncertainty of the subconscious and then staying in the light of the sun as you move through the past to get to where you are now. Now, what we're looking at here, first thing I notice right out of the gate is we have the 3 of Swords, we have the 7 of Swords, right? 7 of Swords can be the liar, cheater, stealer card, right? This kind of makes me feel like that neighbor. I don't know why, but I'm wondering if you're dealing with that neighbor situation that I've talked to you about and that I've read you on before, but I don't know if that's still an issue. But we'll talk about that in a moment. But I feel like there is some sort of something going on, that there's a struggle. If it hasn't quite erupted yet, it could. Let's see what this is really quick. So this is 6, 7, the 8 of Pentacles. So to me, this is about balance, but this isn't Pentacles, so this would be money energy. And then what's down here? The Tower. So this to me, I'm going to say this, Marita, I'm a little concerned. Only because I don't like this 7 of Swords. I don't like this 3 of Swords. And I don't like the Tower down in your subconscious. I do like the Tower is flipped over. Like I don't think it's that we don't see it. I think that I'm fearful that you're not necessarily, with this cannot be certain down here, even though it's in the past, and this Tower hovering in the background, I kind of want to say, like, being mindful of kind of what you're thinking about, what you're dealing with, where you're focusing, right? I feel like if you're focusing to the past, we want to turn St. Anthony towards the future. Although some of these things might seem a little bit familiar in the sense like we've dealt with struggles in the past, strife in the past, maybe we've been screwed over in the past, and that's why Anthony might be looking to the past, when I want him to sort of switch around and go like this and look to the future and be able to knock all this stuff out of the way, right? This 8 of Pentacles is about bringing in harvest. It can be a wonderful, like, balanced material card, but it's flipped over. So it says to me that it's almost like because we might be dealing with some of these issues, we can't see the benefits of the 8 of Pentacles. Does that make sense? Like, we want to bring it in,
but we're not sure how because we're dealing with maybe the mental anguish or the worry, or maybe other situations outside of us are feeling like they're creating that worry. This tower is kind of also down here in the subconscious, which I don't think that this is real, is my feeling. I feel like this could be potentially created if you're not careful. And you have manifestations, I feel like, that you're dealing with, or that could show up that could potentially add to the reality of this baby being born. Like the idea, and that's maybe why the baby's here. It's like, and that's why the tower's flipped over. It's like, it's not really a reality yet, but it's like, are we bringing it into birth? Are we manifesting it? And then the other thing that's going on here is we have all this swords up in at the top and the bottom, and then we have this Eight of Pentacles, which could be like benefit, harvest, grounded, earth, all of that wonderful connection to the earth, the shamanistic work that you do, all of that sort of stuff. And you have the star, which is the wishes granted, right? The energy of Aquarius, but the star is inverted at this point. This star is far enough into the future that it says to me that the energy is there. We can flip it up, right? Easily. But we have to like sort of release whatever worries we may have. And I feel like there's days when, you might be on your game. It's clear as day. You're energized. It's all working. It's all, present, clear, and accounted for. And then there's days when you're not, or it's not. It doesn't seem quite as clear. It might be more muddied, or hard to read, hard to see. All of this is about change, though. We got to remember that this 5 was here in the center. So when I look at this, I feel like there's different ways that this could change. This could change positively across, right? Because this 8 of Pentacles and this star to me are very beneficial. Oh, sorry, it's out of focus. Are very beneficial coins. Oh, come on, there we go. But this tower brewing it's not here yet, and I don't think it's real. That's the feeling I get. I just feel like there are small manifestations that might be in the real day-to-day life that are annoying, that are pestering, that are heartachy or frustrating, that we don't want to give them too much credence in our space right now. That's kind of what I feel like. There's a lot of mental strife and worry, potential for, the 7 of, they call this the liar, cheater, stealer card as a rule. It's usually something being done in the background that we're unaware of. This is the 3 of Swords is something that we're definitely aware of. There's heartache involved with the 3 of Swords. So to me, it's sort of like, areas where maybe we've been wronged, and maybe that's why he's facing the past, is that maybe we're bringing some of those worries from the past into the now and matching them up to situations we might be dealing with or struggles we might be facing with now. And we need to change that. We need to, because to me, I feel like this 8 of Pentacles and this star speak to this idea that there's all sorts of good things that can come through hard work. The 8 of Pentacles is that guy that's always working on he's hammering out the pentacles, right? Doing every detail, one after the other, doing all the meticulous steps and all of that stuff, and taking each and every step in a very methodical way, but doing it in such a way that he just builds upon his success and builds upon his success. So this was face down, right? Because we might be seeing a little bit more of the struggle bus stuff that's going on around us, or the challenges. We might be focusing more on where the challenges might be hiding. Do you know what I'm saying? Like preparing ourselves maybe for the worst in an effort to protect ourselves when we don't really need to. The star is here, right? And then we have the bulldog up here, and I love the bulldog. It's one of my favorite charms. You know me and my bulldogs. This represents sort of, man's best friend, that idea of nobility, that idea of what's the word I'm looking for? Not nobility, but like why am I blanking on the bulldog? Like they're not only noble, but they're like true or honest, like faithful, like all of that sort of stuff is up here in the higher mind. It is upside down, so it's sort of like I kind of feel like we want him this way, facing the future, expecting the best, delivering, the best that you know how with the sun and with this green Tara and this Saint Anthony, the remover of obstacles. It's like, to me, it speaks to like having all of the power and grace within you, but not believing that it's within the things around you. Like not trusting that, maybe. And so when we're looking at other experiences where we've maybe been let down, misled, lied to, whatever from the past, it has caused us confusion or whatever. And really the power is all within us. That's this Eight of Pentacles, this like taking it step by step, doing the work, putting our whole heart into it. And then the Star is like sort of that granting of wishes. It's that magic card, that purity, that grace, that divine sort of like peace that comes from that. So I think that this could go, the funny thing is this looks like this could go two different ways. And it's really your choice. And this could be attributed to any of your situations, I think. The Tower to me feels like it's not yet born, but I also think that the baby is also a celebration in a weird way, right? So the baby represents either the negativity of the birthing and the reality of the Tower coming up out of the worries of our subconscious, or it could be like we leave this Tower, like we stop doing that, we stay in the Eight of Pentacles, and we achieve this sort of star moving into the future, right? These wishes granted, and this baby is still a blessing, right? It's still born into whatever the goal was, whatever the work that we worked towards, we reap the benefit of that as if it's a newborn child, or the gift that like a newborn child would bring. Does that make sense? So I feel like this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just sort of sitting here like, what are we gonna bring into life? Yeah, don't rely on the past to inform the future. Know that all the power is within you too. Because Saint Anthony of Padua is the remover of obstacles, right? Green Tara, she's this benevolent, beautiful goddess. The sun is, life-giving, powerful energy, right? But then when we get down into this stuff down here, it sort of is a little bit murky. And I think that that's because there's might be some situations that you've got that are questionable or not fully apparent, right? Like maybe not all the information is being given, or there's been upset or heartache, challenges that you've had to deal with. But we have to change the perspective or shift the perspective to this place of going back to sort of square one and doing what's right in front of us and putting, getting that. This is like the nose to the grindstone kind of coin. And you might be having your focus in so many different places, trying to, not master, but like trying to monitor so many different things right now, that we need to remember like the craftsmanship that comes with the Eight of Pentacles, right? If we take that time, that what's the word? Like, nurturing each and every step as we craft whatever it is that we want in each area of our life. If we take it with that sort of perspective, with the star is possible. The wish is granted, that the dream, all of it. The baby is born, but the baby is a blessing, a positive opportunity. I don't necessarily, it says remove my own obstacles that I create. I don't know that you're necessarily creating all of them in the sense that there could be things that are challenging you from the outside to test you on your resolve as to how clean you keep your thoughts or how steady you keep your pace. That kind of a thing. Does that make sense? Because this Eight of Pentacles says to me that you have the ability to do that, but it was flipped over, which says to me that that's not necessarily where you're focusing your energy. You might be focusing your mental energy on trying to master or control things that you can't necessarily, I don't want to say fight against, but that maybe aren't necessarily present or available, right? Like that's the hiddenness of the Seven of Swords, or the, you know, the heartache of the Three of Swords. You know, if betrayal comes, or if you get screwed over, or any of that sort of stuff, like if you're living from a place of fearing that that could happen, you don't want to do that. I'm not sure. The DRC, I'm not sure. It's a six. It comes to a number six, and sixes are usually beneficial, right? Sixes bring about like balance and all of that. It's usually the sort of the balance after the change of a number five. So I think that this five here represents the change of what we choose to focus on. This is more like focusing on every step that's right in front of us, handling it, you know, minute by minute, detail by detail, not worrying about the what ifs. These to me feel like the what ifs. Dr. C, it could be. I knew there used to be a DJ in San Francisco called DRC. Like, I think their name was Darcy and they went by DRC. She was really a great DJ, but that was years ago. But I don't think that's what that means. But it made me think of that. So I think that like remembering that I also feel like the fact that the Saint Anthony is standing up speaks to this idea that he wants my attention, right? Like I feel like this is a reminder that you are the remover of your obstacles. Even though he was facing towards the past, him standing upright on the board like that, he's saying like, hey, look at me. Marita, you are me, right? You are the remover. You can remove any obstacles as they come in the moment from the patience and the workmanship of the Eight of Pentacles and the belief in the star, all of that, the power of the sun, the depth of like sort of, you know, the divine feminine that exists here, they're working together. So like all of that energy within you, all of that sort of spiritual information, all of that stuff is kind of working with you. So like remember that is kind of the feeling that I get from this charm standing up, like staring at me. I hope that makes sense. You're welcome. Thank you, Marita. I'm glad you were able to pop in. I'm glad that we got so many done today because that makes me feel better because people get what they deserve. They need their charmings. All right, I am going to sign off because I'm going to go get more water and get my headspace clear because I have a mediumship class. So I've got to read. Well, it's not a class, it's like a practice circle. And I felt like spacey all day today. And I look like, you know, I could give a shit with this beard. Ugh, I look like Death eating a cracker. But I really could give a shit, to be honest. I've given up! I've let it go. I've been watching on Facebook James Van Prague. Not that I'm any James Van Prague. I'm not comparing myself to James Van Prague at all. But like none of these people are shaving. Like nobody cares anymore. Nicholas Ashbaugh. I watched my Pisces horoscope for the month of November from him, and it was like he didn't shave. Like I'm like, oh okay, we've all lost it. We've all gone over the deep end. I don't feel quite so bad anymore. So I'm, you know, if I make it to class, I'm doing good. If I make it to the circle, I'm doing good. But I should go and do it, even if I am a bit of a spacey Stacy. All right, you guys, thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Follow. Please go over if you're watching on YouTube. Go over, watching on Facebook. Go over and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and vice versa. And next time, hopefully, I'll look more presentable and be more awake. I think that would be hot if you wore a mustache. I'm actually signing off, Mary Rakowski. I think you should wear a mustache. Your eyes would look amazing with a mustache too. All right, you guys, I will talk to you later, and have a good night. And I will see you guys maybe this week. I'll come back on and do some more coin toss readings because I want to figure out how to really do that. It's a fun new toy that I'm enjoying. All right, have a great night. Bye.